It happened so fast that I barely had time to catch my breath. One night, everything felt normal. We laughed, shared stories, planned future weekends. And the next morning, I woke up to silence, the unmistakable absence of a message or call. The air between us had shifted overnight, and I was left holding onto memories that suddenly felt fragile and distant. I remember staring at my phone for what felt like hours, hoping it would light up with a text, some explanation, anything. But it didn't. That empty screen became a mirror reflecting my own uncertainty, my doubts, and a creeping sense of disbelief that this was really happening. How could someone who promised forever just vanish like a ghost? The days that followed were a blur of restless nights and wandering thoughts. I replayed every conversation, every laugh, every fight, searching for a clue I might have missed. Was it something I said, something I did, or maybe it was just that sometimes love isn't enough to hold two people together? Friends told me to move on, to forget, to focus on myself. But how do you let go of someone who was once your whole world? The apartment felt emptier without their presence. The sound of their footsteps, the scent of their sweater folded on the chair, the way sunlight used to catch in their hair. Now, those details haunted me with a painful clarity. One evening, I found myself in the park where we first met. The bench was still there, worn but familiar, surrounded by trees that whispered in the breeze. Sitting there, I let the tears come, not holding back anymore. It was the first time I allowed myself to fully feel the heartbreak instead of pretending it wasn't real. It was in that moment of raw vulnerability that something shifted. Beneath the ache, beneath the sorrow, I sensed a spark, a fragile hope that maybe this ending was actually the start of something else. But what? I had no idea. I just knew I couldn't stay stuck in the past forever. Slowly, I began to reclaim my life piece by piece. I revisited old hobbies I'd neglected, like painting and running, each stroke of the brush, and every stride forward a small act of defiance against despair. The colors on my canvas were messy and imperfect, but they were mine, and that mattered. I started saying yes to invitations I would have declined before. Coffee with strangers, late-night city walks, spontaneous trips. Each new experience chipped away at the heaviness, reminding me that the world was still full of possibilities, even if my heart felt bruised and fragile. One night during a rainstorm, I got caught outside without an umbrella. Instead of rushing for shelter, I stood still and let the rain soak through my clothes. It felt cleansing, like the sky was washing away the pain I'd carried for so long. In that moment, I realized I was ready to stop running from my feelings and start embracing them. The hardest part wasn't the loneliness, but the self-doubt that crept in like an uninvited shadow. I questioned my worth, my choices, and whether I'd ever be able to trust again. But each day, I found small victories, an honest smile in the mirror, a kind word from a friend, a quiet moment of peace that helped me rebuild my confidence. Then came an unexpected phone call from someone I hadn't heard from in years. Their voice was warm and familiar, a lifeline in the storm. We talked for hours, catching up on lost time, sharing stories of heartbreak and healing. That conversation reminded me that connections could be rekindled and new ones could blossom when you least expect it. With time, I began to see the breakup not just as a loss, but as a necessary clearing of the path ahead. It forced me to confront who I really was, beyond the role I played in that relationship. I discovered strengths I hadn't known I possessed, and dreams that had been buried beneath compromise and comfort. One afternoon, while hiking a trail bathed in golden sunlight, I felt a surge of joy and freedom unlike anything I'd experienced in months. The air was crisp, the world vast, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't weighed down by what was lost, but lifted by what might still be. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered hope. I started writing again, pouring my thoughts and emotions onto paper. The words didn't come easy. Sometimes they were angry, sometimes wistful, sometimes raw with pain. But each sentence was a step forward, a way to make sense of the chaos inside me and turn it into something meaningful. As weeks turned into months, my circle of friends grew, not because I needed distraction, but because I was becoming more open, more willing to share my true self. I learned to listen more and judge less, to accept others' imperfections as I was learning to accept my own. One chilly evening, I found myself at a small gathering where laughter filled the room like warm light. I caught a glimpse of someone's eyes across the crowd, not familiar, not expected, but curious and kind. Our smiles met, tentative but genuine, and I felt a flutter of something new stirring deep inside. It wasn't about rushing into a new relationship or erasing the past. It was about opening a door I thought had closed forever and stepping through it with cautious hope. The breakup that had shattered my world was now the catalyst for a new beginning I hadn't dared to dream of before. Yet the journey is far from over. Every day brings new challenges, moments of doubt, and the occasional pang of loneliness. But I face them differently now, with resilience forged in fire and a heart that's learning to beat strong again. This story isn't finished, and maybe that's the most beautiful part of all. Sometimes, in the quiet hours of the night, I still hear echoes of what was lost. But instead of breaking me, they remind me of how far I've come. That love can hurt, yes, but it can also heal, transform, and lead us to places we never imagined were possible. So here I am, standing on the edge of what's next, with scars that tell my story and hope that lights my way. The breakup was brutal, unexpected, and painful, but it was also a beginning. And whatever comes next, I'm ready to meet it head-on. It's strange how life works sometimes. One moment you're certain of everything, and the next, the ground shifts beneath your feet. That uncertainty used to terrify me, but now I see it as a kind of freedom, the chance to rewrite my story on my own terms. I've learned to cherish the small things, the warmth of morning sun on my face, the sound of rain tapping on the window, the comfort of a good book on a restless night. These moments anchor me, reminding me that even in change, there is stability. And while the scars from the breakup remain, they are no longer wounds that bleed. They're reminders of survival, growth, and the fierce beauty of starting over. I carry them with pride, not shame, as badges of a journey that's uniquely mine. There are still days when the weight of the past feels heavy, when memories sneak in unbidden and bring tears. But those moments pass, like storms giving way to clear skies. I've learned to ride those waves instead of fighting them, letting them shape me without defining me. What surprises me most is how unexpected kindness has been, strangers offering smiles, friends sharing their own stories, even moments of self-compassion that I never thought I deserved. These gifts have been lifelines, threads weaving me back into the fabric of connection. The breakup forced me to face loneliness head-on, and in doing so, I discovered the strength in solitude. It's not about being alone, but about being comfortable with yourself, your thoughts, and your emotions. That inner peace has been the greatest revelation of all. I've started dreaming again, not just about love, but about purpose, adventure, and who I want to be. The future feels wide open, less frightening now, filled with possibilities waiting to be explored. It's a blank page, and for the first time in a long time, I'm eager to write. Sometimes I catch myself smiling at the simplest things, a kind word, a beautiful sunset, the sound of my own laughter. These moments remind me that joy is still possible, even after heartbreak, and that life continues to surprise us in the best ways. I've come to understand that endings are not failures, they're transitions. They make space for growth, new experiences, and deeper understanding. The breakup was painful, yes, but it was also a necessary chapter in a much larger story. As I move forward, I hold on to the lessons learned, to communicate openly, to value myself, to trust my instincts. These lessons are the foundation for healthier relationships and a more authentic life. They're the gifts hidden within the pain. The road ahead isn't perfectly clear, and that's okay. I'm learning to embrace uncertainty and find comfort in the unknown. It's a journey of faith in myself, in the future, and in the enduring power of hope. And so, with a heart that's been broken and mended, I step forward into the new beginning waiting just beyond the horizon. It's not the story I expected, but it's mine, and I'm ready to live it fully with all its twists, turns, and surprises. Sometimes the hardest goodbyes lead to the most beautiful hellos. My breakup was the end of one chapter, but it opened the door to a life I never knew I wanted. And that, I think, is the true magic of starting over. In the quiet moments, when the world slows down, I remind myself that healing isn't linear. Some days are harder than others, and that's okay. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress, and I'm learning to celebrate every victory, big or tiny. I don't have all the answers yet, and I probably never will. But I have a newfound courage to face whatever comes next, to embrace change, and to trust that life's twists are guiding me exactly where I need to be. The breakup taught me about loss, yes, but more importantly, it taught me about resilience, how to fall apart and put myself back together stronger than before. It's a lesson I carry with me every day, a quiet strength that grows deeper with time. Sometimes, when I look back, I feel a bittersweet gratitude for everything that happened. The pain was real and raw, but it was also the catalyst for growth and self-discovery. Without it, I wouldn't be standing here today, ready for what's next. I've learned to be kinder to myself, to forgive my mistakes, and to accept that perfection isn't the goal, authenticity is. This journey has shown me that being true to who I am is the greatest gift I can give both myself and others. There are moments when I catch a glimpse of the future and feel a spark of excitement. New friendships, new passions, new dreams, all waiting to be explored. It's a reminder that life is an adventure, even when it doesn't go as planned. The breakup that once felt like the end of the world is now a chapter of transformation. It challenged me, changed me, and ultimately set me free. And as I walk forward, I carry hope in my pocket and a heart open to all the possibilities ahead. Sometimes I wonder what might have been if things had gone differently, but those thoughts no longer trap me in regret. Instead, they remind me of the strength it took to let go and the courage it takes to start again. I've found solace in simple routines, morning coffee, evening walks, journaling late into the night. These rituals ground me, offering comfort and continuity amid the ever-changing landscape of my emotions. The support of friends and family has been a lifeline. Their patience, listening ears, and gentle encouragement have helped me rebuild my confidence and reminded me that I'm not alone on this journey. I've started setting boundaries where before I might have compromised. It's a way of honoring my needs and protecting my healing process. Saying no has become an act of self-love, a way to cultivate respect for myself. Music has been a steady companion through it all. Some songs echo my sadness, others lift my spirits, and together they form a soundtrack to my journey, a mix of sorrow and hope, loss and renewal. One day I found an old photo of us, laughing beneath the summer sun. Instead of pain, it brought a strange comfort, a reminder that joy once existed and could exist again, even if with someone else or simply within myself. I've come to realize that healing is messy and nonlinear. Sometimes progress feels like a step forward, other times a stumble back. But each moment is part of the process, shaping me in ways I'm only beginning to understand. The breakup forced me to confront my fears, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of starting over. Facing those fears head-on has been terrifying and empowering all at once, a paradox that keeps me moving forward. I'm learning to trust my intuition again, to listen to what my heart and mind truly need. It's a delicate balance, but one that feels essential for living authentically and building relationships that honor who I am. There's a growing sense of peace that comes with acceptance, accepting that some things are beyond my control, that people change, and that sometimes the hardest choices lead to the most meaningful growth. I've found inspiration in stories of others who have faced heartbreak and emerged stronger. Their resilience reminds me that I'm part of a larger human experience, connected by the universal threads of love and loss. Sometimes I catch myself daydreaming about the future, not just about love, but about the person I want to become. It's a vision filled with kindness, courage, and creativity, a self I'm eager to meet. The breakup was a harsh teacher, but one I needed. It stripped away illusions and forced me to confront truths I might have avoided. Though painful, it cleared the way for a more honest and fulfilling life. Every day brings new challenges and discoveries. Some mornings, I wake up feeling hopeful, other days the weight of the past presses down. But I've learned to be gentle with myself, honoring where I am rather than rushing to where I want to be. Small moments of joy, an unexpected compliment, a breathtaking sunset, a shared laugh, have become treasures. They remind me that life's beauty persists even in the aftermath of heartbreak. I've started volunteering at a local community center, finding purpose in helping others. It's a way to connect, to give back, and to shift focus from my own pain to the healing power of kindness. The breakup changed how I see love, not as something that completes me, but as something that complements and enriches an already whole person. It's a subtle but profound shift that gives me hope for future relationships. I've kept a journal filled with letters to myself, sometimes angry, sometimes hopeful, always honest. Writing has been a refuge, a way to process emotions and chart my journey toward healing. Through this journey, I've met people who challenge and inspire me, friends who encourage growth, mentors who offer wisdom, and strangers whose brief kindnesses leave lasting impressions. I'm learning that vulnerability is not weakness but strength. Sharing my story, my fears, and my hopes connects me to others and fosters genuine relationships built on trust and empathy. There are still moments when I feel the sting of loss, a sudden pang that catches me off guard. But these moments no longer define me, they are part of the rich tapestry of healing and growth. I've begun exploring meditation and mindfulness, practices that help me stay present and calm the restless mind. They ground me in the here and now, offering clarity amid emotional storms. The breakup was a crack in my life's foundation, but from that crack, light has begun to shine through. It's uneven and imperfect, but it illuminates a path forward, one step at a time. I've learned the importance of patience, with myself, with others, and with the slow unfolding of healing. It's a lesson in grace, reminding me that growth cannot be rushed or forced. Sometimes I catch myself laughing at memories that once hurt, a sign that time really does soften even the deepest wounds. Humor has become a balm, a way to reclaim joy and lightness. The breakup challenged my identity, forcing me to redefine who I am outside of a relationship. This self-discovery has been both daunting and exhilarating, a chance to rediscover passions and values. I've started setting goals that focus on personal growth, learning new skills, traveling, deepening friendships. These goals remind me that my life is mine to shape, full of potential and promise. In moments of doubt, I remind myself that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. The pain of loss can give way to the joy of discovery if we are brave enough to embrace the unknown. The breakup was a painful chapter, but it also sparked a transformation. It taught me about resilience, self-love, and the unpredictable beauty of life's detours. As I continue on this path, I carry with me the lessons of the past and the hope of the future. The story is still unfolding, and I'm learning to trust the process, one day at a time.